The arena fell silent as Warlord Krexthor entered through the Champion's Gate. 3 meters of pure muscle and chitin, winner of 400 consecutive battles across 12 systems. His mandibles clicked in anticipation as he surveyed his opponent. She was tiny. Ambassador Tlora felt her secondary heart sink. The human girl couldn't have been more than 60 kilograms, standing barely 1.6 meters tall. Her name was Riley Chen, a security officer from Earth's delegation, and she'd volunteered for this exhibition match to demonstrate human combat capabilities. Now Tlora wondered if she'd just sent the girl to her death. "This is your champion?" Krexthor's translator boomed across the arena, his laugh echoing off crystalline walls. "The Deathworlders send a child?" Riley stood motionless at the arena's center, hands relaxed at her sides, face expressionless. She wore simple combat fatigues, no armor, no weapons, nothing but cloth and boots. The 50,000 spectators from 100 different species murmured in confusion and pity. "Human," Krexthor addressed her, his tone almost gentle, "you may withdraw. I have no interest in killing something so fragile." Riley didn't respond. She didn't even blink. Just stood there, breathing slowly, eyes locked on the Warlord with an intensity that made Tlora's skin prickle. Krexthor's amusement faded to annoyance. "Very well. When you're ready to." He stopped. Something in Riley's stillness had changed. She hadn't moved, but every predator instinct in the arena suddenly screamed danger. The Warlord had faced Korvac berserkers, film battle dancers, even a wild Graxen AR alpha. He knew threat assessment. And this small human, standing perfectly still, had somehow become the most dangerous thing he'd ever faced. 15 seconds passed. Riley remained motionless, but her eyes tracked every micro-movement Krexthor made. His weight distribution. His breathing pattern. The slight favor he gave his left side, an old injury, perhaps. She was calculating. Krexthor charged. A textbook intimidation rush designed to make opponents panic and scatter. It had worked 400 times before. Riley moved. Not away, toward. She exploded forward with acceleration that shouldn't have been possible from a standing start, closing the distance in a heartbeat. Krexthor's clawed strike cut through empty air as Riley dropped low, sliding beneath his guard like water. Then she jumped. Her entire body coiled and released like a compressed spring, launching herself upward with legs that had evolved climbing trees and running down prey across African plains. Legs built by a high-gravity death world where everything was trying to kill you. Her boot caught Krexthor under his mandible ridge, the one weak point in Korathi anatomy where the exoskeleton joined the neural column. The impact sounded like a thunderclap. 3 meters of apex predator went horizontal. Krexthor crashed onto his back with enough force to crack the arena floor. His limbs spasmed, neural signals disrupted by the perfectly placed strike. Riley landed in a crouch, already calculating her next move if needed. It wasn't needed. The Warlord lay still, his chest plate rising and falling rapidly, his eyes unfocused. The arena remained silent for 3 full seconds before erupting into chaos. Species that communicated through sound shrieked. Those that used bioluminescence flashed in patterns of shock and disbelief. The human delegation remained quiet, most looking unsurprised. Riley stood slowly, walked over to Krexthor, and offered her hand. "Good match, sir." The Warlord grasped her wrist, the closest his species came to a handshake, and let her help him sit up. His translator crackled. "How? I've fought Graxen AR alphas. I've survived encounters with void stalkers. How does something your size?" "Earth gravity is 1.3 times core ADH standard," Riley said matter-of-factly. "I've been training in your gravity for 3 weeks. Feels like I'm underwater. Plus, humans evolved as persistence hunters and distance runners. We're built for explosive power across uneven terrain. And we study our opponents." She gestured at Krexthor's left side. "You favor your right by 0.03 degrees. Old injury, probably 4th or 5th rib segment." I aimed for your neural junction because I spent 6 hours yesterday studying choreothai anatomy. We don't rely on being the strongest. We rely on being the smartest. Krexthor's mandibles clicked, this time in respect. The stories about Deathworlders, they're all true? Riley smiled, and something in that expression reminded everyone watching that humans had climbed to the top of Earth's food chain despite being surrounded by creatures with fangs, claws, and venom. Every single one, she said. Ambassador Tlora finally released the breath she'd been holding. Around the arena, species that had considered Earth's admission to the Galactic Council a charitable gesture began frantically updating their threat assessments. The Deathworlders had arrived. And they'd brought patience, preparation, and the terrifying physics of a 1.0G world with them.